In today's world, many people find themselves surrounded by negative environments, whether it's at work, in relationships, or even in social spaces. We are often exposed to criticism, gossip, stress, or hostility. These external forces can easily affect our emotional well-being, leaving us feeling drained, anxious, or even disheartened. But how can we protect our minds and emotions in such environments? Marcus Aurelius offers us a profound Stoic insight. You have power over your mind, not outside events. This powerful reminder teaches us that while we cannot always control the external circumstances or the behavior of others, we have complete control over how we respond. Stoicism offers the tools to fortify the mind and set emotional boundaries to protect our inner peace from the negative influence of external environments. In this video, we will explore how Stoic principles can help us maintain emotional resilience and protect ourselves from the toxic energy of the environments we navigate. Marcus Aurelius offers a powerful Stoic teaching when he says, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This thought underscores one of the core principles of Stoicism. We cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. Whether we are exposed to criticism, gossip, or hostility in our environment, Marcus Aurelius teaches us that our peace of mind is determined by our inner response, not by the negativity around us. Stoicism empowers us to set emotional boundaries, protect our mental space, and remain calm and rational, regardless of the external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius says, quote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events," is a core Stoic teaching that offers us an incredibly empowering perspective. In a world filled with external negativity, criticism, gossip, stress, and hostility, it's easy to feel that we are victims of our environments. Whether at work, in relationships, or even in public spaces, we can easily become affected by the toxic energy around us. However, Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the actions or words of others, we can control how we respond to them. The challenge is that external environments often create a sense of powerlessness in us. When we encounter negative situations or people, we often react emotionally, feeling drained, frustrated, or anxious. But Stoicism encourages us to reclaim control over our minds by practicing emotional boundaries and inner fortification. Instead of letting external factors determine our emotional state, we can train ourselves to respond with calm, rationality, and resilience. The emotional toll of negative environments can take many forms. At work, we may be exposed to criticism or hostility from colleagues. In relationships, we might face gossip or emotional manipulation. In public spaces or social media, we encounter stress, negativity, and conflict. These external factors can quickly affect our mood and mindset, causing us to feel overwhelmed or disempowered. The problem rises when we start to identify with these external forces. We often internalize the negative energy around us, allowing it to influence how we feel about ourselves and the world. Stoicism teaches us to recognize that while we cannot control the environment, we can control our reactions by setting mental boundaries and practicing emotional fortitude. We create a space between external events and our internal peace. Stoic practices for protecting your mind from negative environments set emotional boundaries. One of the key Stoic tools for protecting your mind is setting emotional boundaries. This means learning to disengage emotionally from external negativity, whether it's a colleague's criticism, a friend's gossip, or a stressful situation. Stoicism teaches us to detach from the emotional weight of external events. We cannot control how others act, but we can choose to not take their negativity personally. This allows us to maintain mental peace, regardless of the external circumstances. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Stoicism teaches us to be aware of our thoughts and emotional responses. When faced with a negative situation, the first step is to pause and reflect on our feelings. Are we allowing external negativity to affect our peace? Mindfulness helps us recognize when we're being pulled into negative emotional states and gives us the space to choose a rational response. By practicing self-awareness, we can regain control over our emotions and respond with clarity rather than reacting impulsively. Reframe negative situations. Reframing is a powerful Stoic technique for dealing with negativity. Instead of seeing negative environments as threats to our peace, Stoicism teaches us to view them as opportunities for growth. Every time we encounter criticism, gossip, or hostility, we can choose to see it as an opportunity to practice virtue, patience, tolerance, and wisdom. By reframing negative situations as chances to grow stronger, we transform them from sources of stress into tools for self-improvement. Focus on what you can control. The Stoic practice of focusing on what is within our control is crucial in negative environments. We cannot control other people's words or actions, but we can control how we react to them. When faced with criticism or stress, we can choose to focus on how we respond, how we maintain our composure, and how we remain aligned with our values by focusing on our own actions and responses. We free ourselves from the emotional weight of external circumstances, practice gratitude and perspective. Even in negative environments, there is always something to be grateful for. Stoicism encourages us to focus on the positive aspects of life, even when things feel challenging. By practicing gratitude, we shift our focus away from external negativity and towards the things that truly matter. Whether it's appreciating our relationships, our health, or our personal growth, gratitude helps us stay grounded in what is truly important, rather than getting lost in the negativity around us. The freedom of emotional resilience, the true freedom that Stoicism offers, is the ability to remain unaffected by external negativity. By setting emotional boundaries, practicing self-awareness, and reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, we can protect our mental peace and emotional stability. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the external world, we can control our responses and maintain our inner peace. When we focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, we free ourselves from the emotional weight of negative environments. Stoicism empowers us to stay calm, rational, and resilient, no matter the external circumstances. In a world full of criticism, stress, and hostility, Stoicism offers us the tools to fortify our minds, protect our inner peace, and respond to challenges with virtue and resilience. In today's world, negative environments are all too common. Whether it's the criticism we face at work, the gossip in our social circles, or the hostility we sometimes encounter in public spaces, we are constantly exposed to toxic energy that can easily affect our emotional stability. These external pressures can lead to stress, anxiety, and self-doubt, causing us to feel drained or powerless. When we are surrounded by negativity, it's easy to start internalizing it, allowing it to influence our mood and sense of self. But Stoicism offers a powerful tool to help us protect our minds from the external negativity that can so easily overwhelm us. Marcus Aurelius offers this essential Stoic wisdom: you have power over your mind, not outside events. This thought emphasizes that we have the ability to control how we respond to external events. While we can't control the words or actions of others, we can control our reactions. Stoicism teaches us that the key to maintaining mental peace is to strengthen our inner fortitude and set emotional boundaries to protect our minds from negative environments. Instead of allowing external forces to determine our emotional state, Stoicism empowers us to cultivate emotional resilience. This is done not by shutting out the world, but by disciplining our minds to maintain clarity, calm, and focus in the face of external challenges. By practicing Stoic techniques, we can defend our inner peace and respond to negativity with strength and rationality. The emotional impact of negative environments often cause emotional turbulence. Whether we are faced with a hostile work environment, critical feedback from others, or a stressful social situation, these external events can easily upset our inner balance. The constant stress of dealing with these situations can lead us to feel overwhelmed and drained. When we allow others' negativity to affect our mood, we become reactive rather than proactive. Stoicism teaches us to take responsibility for our own emotions and not let external events determine our inner state. We can choose how to respond, and by setting mental boundaries, we regain control over how we feel and act. Instead of reacting impulsively with frustration or anxiety, we can practice calmness and rationality, no matter what is happening around us. Stoic practices for protecting your mind in negative environments. Set emotional boundaries. One of the core Stoic practices is to set emotional boundaries. In the face of criticism, gossip, or hostility, we can choose not to internalize these external influences. Stoicism teaches us that we don't have to take negative comments or judgments personally. When we create mental space between the external events and our emotional response, we can detach from the negativity and choose a calm, rational response. By setting these boundaries, we preserve our inner peace and maintain emotional resilience. Focus on what you can control. A central principle of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. We cannot control the actions of others, but we can control how we respond to them. When negativity rises, instead of trying to control or change others, we focus on how we choose to react. We take responsibility for our emotions, practice self-restraint, and choose to respond with patience, wisdom, and clarity. This shift in focus gives us control over our mental state, allowing us to remain calm and rational even in the face of external negativity. Reframe negative situations. One of the most powerful tools Stoicism offers is the practice of reframing negative situations. Instead of seeing criticism or conflict as something personal or defeating, we can choose to view it as an opportunity to practice virtue, whether it's patience, resilience, tolerance, or understanding. Every negative encounter becomes a chance to grow and strengthen our character. Reframing helps us see challenges as opportunities for self-improvement rather than obstacles to our peace of mind. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Stoicism encourages self-awareness and mindfulness to remain calm and focused in the face of negative environments. When faced with external negativity, we can pause, take a deep breath, and assess how we are feeling. By practicing mindfulness, we can observe our emotions without letting them control us. This awareness allows us to choose our response more consciously and effectively. Reducing the emotional impact of negative situations, embrace acceptance and detachment. Acceptance and detachment are key Stoic practices. Stoicism teaches that we should accept life as it is, with all its imperfections, including the negativity we encounter. By accepting that we cannot always control external events or the behavior of others, we stop resisting reality and allow ourselves to respond with greater ease. Detachment helps us maintain emotional balance, knowing that we are not defined by external circumstances or other people's opinions. The freedom of inner peace, the true freedom that Stoicism offers, is the freedom to remain calm, rational, and resilient, regardless of the negativity around us. By practicing emotional boundaries, focusing on what we can control, and reframing negative situations as opportunities for growth, we protect our inner peace from external forces. Stoicism teaches us that our happiness and emotional stability do not depend on the external world, but on how we choose to respond to it. In a world filled with criticism, gossip, and stress, Stoicism offers us the tools to fortify our minds, maintain inner peace, and respond to external negativity with virtue and self-discipline. As we conclude today's discussion on protecting your mind from negative environments, remember that true peace of mind comes from within. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events, in a world full of criticism, gossip, and stress. We are constantly exposed to negativity that can affect our emotional stability. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot always control the external environment, we can control our reactions and set emotional boundaries to protect our inner peace. By practicing self-awareness, focusing on what we can control, and reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, we reclaim our mental strength and resilience. Stoicism offers us the tools to fortify our minds and remain calm in the face of adversity. When we live in alignment with our values and virtue, we become immune to the negative energy of the world around us. So, the next time you find yourself surrounded by negativity, remember that you have the power to choose your response. Set emotional boundaries, focus on what matters most, and let go of the external forces that try to disturb your peace. Thank you for joining us today. If this video resonated with you, subscribe and share it with someone who might benefit from learning how to protect their mind in a negative environment. Together, let's walk the Stoic path of resilience, inner peace, and meaningful living.